Hey mate, how you going?
Good.
Good. I thought I'd call you in here as our procurement officer.
Yep.
Get a few suggestions on the consumables being used in the shed. Yes.
Yep.
That goes towards the budget of particular jobs we're doing in here. Thought we might discuss some of the ways we could address it.
Yep.
Have you got any suggestions, or have you noticed that we've been using more? As you're the one buying it.
Yeah. I've certainly noticed that we use more and more.
You buy consumables on a weekly basis, don't you?
Yeah.
What would you say the difference in price has been from when you started to now per week?
Oh, huge. Hundreds of dollars.
Hundreds?
Per week. Yeah.
It varies, but roughly.
It varies, but yeah, it's certainly gone up a couple $100 over the last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. What suggestions have you got for addressing that?
I think we should start a consumables register.
Yep.
So employees need to sign in and sign out what they get. And even when it comes to welding consumables, just when something needs to be replaced, show us the product if it is broken, what the issue is, if it's a simple fix or it does need to be replaced. And just pull consumables off the floor and keep them in vision of myself or you,
Yep.
so we know who's using what.
Yep.
And also, being a large company, a lot of different sort of areas use our consumables. The Sparkies use them, Dispatch use them, so we need to have our own separate consumables covered away from other departments, so we can keep track of who's using what.
So if we don't want to do two separate consumables orders, maybe they can use the roster.
Yeah, they can use the roster.
percentage they use can come out of their budget.
Yeah, for sure. And it just comes down to new blokes as well. Obviously, when something gets blunt, like a grinder or a die grinder or a drill bit, instead of sharpening a drill bits or getting more use out of a grinder when it starts to get weak or blunt, just teach them how to sharpen drill bits. Or
What are some of the consumables that have gone up in use? Is it all of them, or is there some in particular? Or
mainly grinding consumables, flapper discs, grinding discs, cutting discs, and welding consumables like tips, shrouds, gas diffusers, stuff like that. Just because I think a lot of the guys aren't using the MIG dip, keeping their tips clean, and it clogs up a lot quicker, and they can't be buggered cleaning them or fixing them, so they just get a fresh one. Or little things like your welding spatter gets stuck inside your gas diffuser, you start getting porosity, they just change the whole rig instead of one component.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that probably brings me to the next point I had. Do you think with some of the newer guys, and even maybe some of the older ones, for training and knowledge on?
Yeah, for sure. A lot of it's knowledge, and a lot of it's, you get lazy as days go on. But especially for the newer guys, just simple things like, cleaning their equipment at the end of the day or during their day, or just a bit of maintenance on their machines.
Yeah.
Makes them work a lot better, and you don't have to go through the consumables.
Yeah, cool. If we do start a register, what will you need? Job number they're working on?
Yeah, you could almost put
The date?
yeah, I guess a register into your PDR cards even. You know what I mean? Like depending on, then you can see what jobs you've
What's what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then as well, like it just comes down to being responsible and what you think's necessary for your job.
Yeah.
But I certainly think having a register close by and then viewing the product when it's broken as well. Because a lot of these guys probably think that something gets to a certain point and it's wrecked.
Yeah, I think we need to start having a look at how much discs have been used.
Yeah.
Probably have to approach it fairly lightly so they don't feel personally attacked.
Yeah. But it can come down to the product the new guys are using as well. Some guys might think a flapper disc is what you need. So you go through 10 as opposed to one grinding disc.
Yeah.
So it just comes down to knowledge and what you need really.
Yep. Okay, so where would you like to put the cupboard?
Like I said, we could put the cupboard in my office or in your office. Or realistically, that's another thing if we look at getting, giving the boys a bit of extra responsibility on the floor, making them a storeman, so the boys don't have to leave the shed looking for us or in and out of offices, and they can be responsible for viewing the product, sign in, sign out.
Yeah.
And then also they can stay on top of consumables and let me know what they need ordered as well.
Yeah. Glasses?
Glasses are a big one. Once again,
Is that people just using them at the end of the day, walking out the door with them and throwing them?
exactly like, most of the guys, like I do it myself, you get home and you got your glasses on your head and you pop them on the bench. You lose them, the kids lose them, your partner throws them out.
Yeah.
It's a day-to-day thing. But once again, once they're in a store and you obviously realise you're asking for them daily,
Yeah.
and you're mucking up, so it's something you'll be more responsible for, keep them in your toolbox.
Yep.
And once again, it's just, other parts of the shed you just don't know where they're going.
I know that we were snapping a lot of those die grinder bits, and we found a brand that's not breaking.
Yeah, we have. It was just a case of,
They're a welded head, aren't they?
they're a welded head, they're a fused head, and we ended up finding a brand, it's a machine part, one solid part, and they're really good.
Yep.
A bit more expensive, but they last 4 times longer.
Yeah.
And in that time, you're using double the money on cheap ones. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes you got to spend an extra $1 to save money.
Alright. I'll definitely start printing up a register.
Yep.
We'll just put it on a file like it was. As we start, are you happy to take control of the cupboard?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, for sure.
Cool.
Yeah, we can do that. That'll be fine. Just, I guess, the next toolbox meeting, we just mentioned that all the consumables are going to be in one spot.
Yep.
What we sort of expect with the boys when it comes to maintenance and simple things.
So a little bit of training.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like you say, do it without making people feel personally attacked and
Yeah.
just, more or less for the new guys, you can put it on them.
Just have some of the more senior staff sort of
Yeah,
take more of a leading role.
yeah, that's right.
So you don't think we need a full warehouse? We don't have enough consumables for that, really, do we?
No, just a few cupboards, that's all we need.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think we'll do that. Stock it all in that cupboard and lock it up for now.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I think even that, once the boys are actually acknowledging what they're using each day, they might start taking a bit more responsibility for
Yeah, that's right.
how they're using it and how
Yeah.
much of it they're going through.
Yeah.
And if it goes well and somebody out there is doing well, then maybe the cupboard can get moved out there and one of them takes on a storeman role.
Yeah, that's right. Bit of extra responsibility for someone would be good.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be, a pain for them to walk in and out. But like you say, just do it for a little while so they understand that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if we get it all good and it's just a couple of consumables that are still being used a bit too heavily, then maybe it'll just be those ones they need to
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I think the register will become a permanent thing, though we'll leave that in place. It's a good way to track spending.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's it. And like you say, depending on what job walks through the door as to how much you need to order and what's getting used more of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, we might implement all of that.
Mm-hmm.
Come back and have a bit of an evaluation meeting and see how we go.
Yeah.
I think that's a pretty good plan, though. I can't really see us going wrong with that.
No. And like you say, we just have a meeting at the toolbox today and
Yeah, so we'll address it at Toolbox.
yeah.
We'll implement it by the end of the week.
Yeah.
And we'll come back and evaluate it.
Yeah, that's right.
Alright, sweet. Awesome, mate. Thanks for that.
No worries at all.
I will talk to you again about it in a week.
Yeah, so
Cheers, mate.